Hello everybody, welcome to this platform. Today's video we're going to solve and see biology and health of national exam that has been done last year of 2024-2025. These are instructions that you have to read and follow here. This is section A, attempt all questions. For all multiple choices questions, circle corresponding letter corresponding to the correct answer. What are the following plants important to environment? Have four options that you have to choose correct answer. 2. Which of the following is primary characteristics of distinguishes the phylum Arthropoda from the other animal phyla? Whereas here, question 3. The total magnification of microscope is calculated by multiplying magnification of ocular lenses by magnification of objective lenses. If the ocular lenses 10 times of the objective lenses magnifies for 40 times, what is the total magnification? Last question number 4. Which of the following organelle is responsible for protein synthesis in plant and animal cells? And we have four options that we have to choose. Okay, now we can move on to the next question right here, so that, and I would like to tell you that you have to prepare your exam very well. Okay, now these are options A, B, C, and D. Okay, now we can move on to the question number 5. Match nutrients in column A with primary function in column B. Carbohydrates, protein, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Whereas here, provide energy for the body, supports immune function and cell repair, aids from formation of bones, teeth, and blood, provide energy and help in the absorption of fat or soluble vitamins, and facilitate various biochemical processes in the body. And you have to match correctly. Okay. Question number 6. State whether each of the following statement is true or false. A. In passive transport, molecules move from an area of low concentration to area of high concentration. What does it called? B. Osmosis is type of facilitated diffusion that requires a carrier protein. C. Active transport moves molecules against their concentration gradient using energy, whereas passive transport moves molecules down the concentration gradient without energy. Question 7. Circle later corresponding to the best answer. Which of the following statement best describes the role of enzymes in biochemical reactions? A. We have four options: A, B, C, and D. Whereas A, enzymes are consumed in chemical reaction and cannot be reused. Enzymes act as catalysts, speeding up the rate of biochemical reaction without being consumed. Enzymes change direction of chemical reactions, whereas the enzyme increases the energy required for reaction occurs. Question 8. Match the condition in column A with its effect on the rate of photosynthesis in column B. Condition: increased light intensity, increased carbon dioxide concentration, increased temperature, decreased intensity, reduced water availability. Whereas in effects, rate of photosynthesis: increase the rate of photosynthesis until the saturation point is reached. Can decrease the rate if too extreme. Increase the rate of photosynthesis up to limit. Decrease the rate of photosynthesis. Reduce the rate of photosynthesis significantly. And have to match correctly and write it in the space provided down there. Match each plant structure with primary function in the transport system: xylem, phloem, root hair, stomata, leaves. Function: transport water and mineral from roots of other parts of the plant, transport organic food, mainly sugar, from leaves to other parts, absorb water and mineral from the soil, absorb water, mineral from the soil, of course. They facilitate gas exchange of for photosynthesis, and you have to write it in the space provided. Okay. 10. State whether each of the following statement is true or false. Meiosis: two rounds of division, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, results in the production of four genetically diverse haploid cells. Mitosis is responsible for producing genetically identical, whereas meiosis produces cells with half-set chromosomes number of original cell. See, meiosis crossing over occurs during metaphase 1, leading to genetic recombination, and you have to answer accordingly. Question 11. Match characteristics of heteromorphic nutrition with correct description. A. Ingestion, digestion, absorption, and digestion. Whereas description we have right here is process of breaking down food into simple molecules, the process of absorbing nutrients into the bloodstream, intake of food into organism body, the removal of undigested food from the body. After matching, have to write it in the space provided to make it clear, okay? In order to prevent any mark loser. Okay, now we can move on to the question 12. Whereas question 12, what is the primary function of human circulatory system? A. Circulate heat air throughout the body, transport nutrients, oxygen and waste product, to transport hormones and enzymes, to protect the body from the pathogens. Primary function of human circulatory system. First, nutrient, oxygen and waste product. No. Whereas what is 13? In absence of oxygen, what process does the body rely on the process energy during intense exercise? I have four options: A, B, C, and D. Aerobically, respiration, lactic acid formation, alloc fermentation, and glycolysis. That's 14. Which of the following is an example of how the skin helps maintain body temperature during excessive heat? Now you have four options that we have to choose best answer. Okay, we can move on to the next question. In the human eye, which part is primarily responsible for detecting light and converting into nerve impulse? So I have four options: retina, lens, cornea, and pupil. Okay. 16. Match reproductive organs to the functions in column B. And I have testes, ovary, uterus, and fallopian tube, whereas in their functions as they follow right here, we have production of eggs, production of sperm, and site of fertilization, and have site for embryo develops. So we have to match it correctly and write it in the space provided down there. Okay. Question 17. Which of the following is best describes a virus? And we have it, whereas here on option A, a microorganism that can reproduce independently, or B, non-living particle that needs a host cell to replicate, type of bacteria that causes infections, and protozoan, like that one. Okay, we can move on to the another question which it is supposed to use true or false. A. Use condoms correctly during sexual intercourse can reduce the risk of contracting HIV and STIs. That is correctly, and that is true. HIV can be transmitted through casual contact such as shaking hands or hugging. That is false. Limiting number of sexual partners can reduce the risk of contracting STI and HIV. That is true. Taking pre-EP or pre-exposure prophylaxis can help to reduce risk of acquiring HIV and high risk of individuals. Okay, that is correct. Sharing needle of drugs using common way of that HIV can be transmitted. That is correct answer. 19. A family who regularly attends community health education program is more likely to have options. Have to choose best answer as it looks like this one. Neglect health habits in favor of traditional practices. Be more aware of health risks and preventive measures. Avoid healthcare professional due to distrust. Ignore healthcare and physical exercise. So have to choose best answer accordingly. Okay. 20. When detecting whether to have sexual relationship, which of the following should a young adult consider to make an informed, responsive decision? Have options right here. 21. How does the water cycle contribute to sustaining ecosystem? A. Increasing similarity of water bodies. B. Ensures water continuous available in plant, animal, and humans. C. Stops evaporation of water. D. It prevents contamination of water sources. And here we have to choose best answer accordingly, okay? And in next video, we shall give you answer of this one because we made this video in order to help it run, okay? 22. How does migration affect the population growth of species in a given area? Migration out of area typically increases the local population growth rate. Migration into an area increases the local population growth rate by producing new individuals. Migration has no effect on population growth rate. Migration always results in a decrease in population growth. Okay, have to choose best right answer. Which of the following human activities most directly into two habits: destruction, overfishing, recycling, deforestation, sustainable agriculture? Here, that is overfishing. This is correct answer. 24. In which type of reproduction do offsprings inherit trait from only one parent? Sexual reproduction, both sexual and asexual, and budding. Choose best answer. 25. State whether each of the following statement is true or false. Pollination is the process of fertilization in flowering plant. The pistil is the female reproductive part of a plant. C. The sperm cell in pollen fuse with the egg cell in ovary during fertilization. Fertilization results in formation of zygote, which later develops into a seed. Okay, that is correct. In sexual reproduction, all offsprings of flowering plants are genetically identical. So I have to choose best answer. Okay, now we can move on to the next question as it seems like this. That is section B. You have to choose only 3 questions, which says that how does predation influence the population of prey species, and why it is not the case of scavengers? Evaluate the role of ovulation timing in likelihood of fertilization and the factors that contribute to this process. And you have the lines here. You have to write. Osmosis is an example, an important process in it, and that one have to read it and write. A homozygous sweet pea with white flowers was crossed with homozygous sweet pea with red flowers. All the offsprings had red flowers. A. State the way which allele of this gene is dominant. 2 heterozygous sweet pea plants with red flowers were crossed as shown right here. The question is this: draw a Punnett square to show genotypes that are reproduced in this cross. And here I have to know how to make and draw Punnett square with against each other. Genotype that produced in this crossing over. Okay. Whereas C, state phenotypic ratio produced in above crossing over we have made above right here. Question section C, compulsory question. Assume you are provided with the following material and to arrange test tubes, doped syringes, beakers, and knife. A. Use material provided. Material. Prepare an extract of food sample. Test the food component present in fluid. Procedure, result, and conclusion. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe.